This is kind of a first little simple one. We'll see. I apologize about the if you hear a bunch of wind, because I'm idling the truck and I gotta stay cool. It's fucking 85 degrees, 88 degrees outside, boiling hot, at least to me. Anyway, just get started. I'm using the XL 2013 365 version. Obviously the name of the book is just called Play Around, because I'm just more or less playing around trying to get things set up for a potential. Whether you decide to use some of this or not, that's entirely up to you. But we'll get started. What I ended up doing was in the very first sheet 1, I went through and I put the dates through. So I put in 1-1-17 is how I entered it, but it took it as January 1st 2017. And then I dragged that all the way down. Also, in case you didn't know, if you press Control on this side and then the down arrow, it'll get you to the end of the list quicker. So if I just hit the down arrow, the cell moves. You see how the highlighted square moves down? Now I'm going to hit Control and the down arrow. Right now I'm on A9, and that's January 8th. So I'm going to press Control and down arrow. I'm now at 9/11/2017. Again, if I want to get to A1 real quick, I can press Control and up, and now I'm back up to A1. So obviously I went down and I filled it, dragged it all the way down to that little bottom corner. I don't have a proper mouse, I'm using a little touchpad, but same difference. So I dragged it all the way down. Now what I did next is I went back and created a label. So again, to get back up there real quick, from where I was, all I did was hit the control arrows up and down. So I was here, pressed the right arrow once, then control up arrow, and now I'm at the top of the column. Alright, so what I did is I just labeled out week, month, and amount. And that's just typed in, there's no special formula for it. So what I did for the week, if you look, January 1st is the first week, January 2nd is first week, January 3rd is first week, blah blah blah. Going up, January 7th is still the first week, but January 8th begins the second week of the month. And it goes on, and you'll count, there's 7 of each. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then it goes to 3 all the way down. So again, up to September 11th, that's like 2 days into a new week. So that should be Sunday and Monday. So September 11th this year is going to be on a Monday, based on that info. Also, if you notice on the side, I got 9s. And then right here, August 31st is 8. So September is 9, September 1st is 9, August 31st is 8. I'm going to go back up the top. Alright, so again, January, you got 1, 2, all the first week, it's all in the first month. Now we're in the second week of January, still first month. We're in the third week of January, still the first month. Fourth week of the year, fifth week of the year is, and technically the fifth week still technically starts in January, because you know how not every day has 28 months. So we're in the fifth week, but we're still in the first month. So January 31st, now we're in February, it's still part of the fifth week, but now we're finally in the second month. And as far as this last part, all I did is obviously I typed them out. Initially I went through and I just put 1 cent, 1 cent, 1 cent all the way across. I went through, and I'll go ahead and change this back, because I did something afterwards and it automatically updated, 0.01. So I wanted to show that it updates. So how do we figure, okay, we put in the date, how do we get the week or the month? We use the formula, little f of x. So in here, the formula we use is week num, and then the value. So let me go ahead and, just for shits and giggles, I'm going to highlight and delete, and we'll redo all this whole thing. So shift, control, down arrow. Now all of it's highlighted. I go ahead and press delete, and now we're done. So how did I do this in the first time? So the very first time, I went in here, popped up. Okay, we don't need math and trig. We need date calculations, date and time. and we want the weeks. So scroll down. Alright, so we got week num. So week num takes serialized date form and returns the type. So it returns the week number in the year. So I'm going to press OK. Now it pops up, okay, what's the serial number? What's the date? Where am I going to pull this from? So all I got to do, I could type in A2 is where I want to start. Or I can go and click this little thing. Now it pops up, and now it allows me to move the mouse and select anything I want. So right now, it's up here says I1 or L1, and that signifies that it's this box. I don't want that box. I don't know how it popped up over there, but I want to take this as my date. So I click on that. So that's A2, and now you see the box changed to A2. All I have to do now is press enter, and now it's filled that in. So January 1st, 2017, and the serialized date format is 42736, which I think is another fancy way of saying it's 42,736 days since 1990, or not 1999, since January 1st, 2000, or 1900, or something, I don't know. However they figured out, they got it in here. It's one of those Star Trek dates, but anyway, we're taking the date from A2. So here's A2, there's A2, and we got a return type. Just go ahead and leave it blank, and we press OK. So now it pops up with 1. So all I got to do at this point here is click and drag it down like that. And again, it's all going to say 1. You're thinking, okay, did anything change? Well, one way to find out is clicking the box. Now it says week num of A7. Well, A7 is the one right next to it, which is right here. So obviously if I go down one more, it should change to week num is 2. Oh wait, first 7 days. Alright, the 8th day is now the 2nd week. So what's another way, instead of clicking and dragging all the way across, what I can do is click this. I press Control C to copy it. And the only thing you'll see is it's got a small little white box goes around it. So now when I get to the bottom of the file, well, if I just press Control down from here, it'll go all the way to the final box. Well, I don't need that far. So I press Control up to get back where I was. So I go over. Now I can press Control down and down arrow. Brings me here. I go over to the box I want. Now I press Shift, Control, and then up arrow. And I'm about to press up arrow right now. Boom. So now it's all highlighted. Everything's good. So now I got to paste. Well, you can right click, paste, whatever you want to do. For me, paste is always Control V. So I'm going to hit Control over here and then V over here. So Control V, and it's all filled in. Boom. So I can press the down arrow and it takes me to the end of the list. I can press up. So I want to get back up the top so we can do the next row. So, but let me go ahead and delete this row, this column, sorry, because this is all the months. So Shift, Control, up arrow, and press delete. Now they're all blank. Control arrow up. So let me retype those in. And again, I apologize about the length of the video, but we'll get there. Again, this is just my first one. So now we need to do the formula to find out, you know, from the date, how do I pull out just the month? Pretty similar. We go into the function, already in the date time category, which is fine. Now we need the month. Now there's an EO month, which I didn't get a full explanation of, but what we're looking for is month. So now we got that selected. We press OK. Alright, what date do we want to take the month from? Well, we're on column C2 right now, so we want the date from A2. So I can type that in, or I can just click on the date that I want. Either way, it would have popped in A2. I press enter, and I press OK. Same thing, I'm going to go ahead and copy this. So I hit Control C to copy. I go over one row, and I hit Control down. It brings me to the end. I go back to the row I want. Now I press Shift, Control, up arrow, and now it highlights the whole thing except for the column heading. Now I can paste which is the same thing as Control V. So Control V, paste, done. Now you see at the bottom I'm at September, August, blah 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 blah. Now these, like I told you, and you can see in the formula, they're all just 1 cent, 1 cent, 1 cent. So I don't know if YouTube's really going to cut me off at 10 minutes. If it does, well, that's it for now. So I'll talk to you in a bit.